I'd like to call to order the City of Quincy Board of License Commissioners meeting. Susan, if you could please call the roll.
Sure. Ms. DeCristofaro?
Present.
Director Duca?
Present.
Chief Keenan?
Present.
Captain Levy?
Present.
Chair Crisco?
Present. I will now read into the record the open meeting law. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any mediums. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived, and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. First on the agenda this evening is the hearing regarding the request of the Squirrel Run Committee for a special use permit for the annual Jimmy Kennedy Run for ALS. The event is scheduled for Saturday, June 13th, 2020. All proceeds of the event will benefit the Angel Fund in support of ALS research. Lou Tozzi. Hi, how are you?
Thank you, Nicole. Board, I apologize for my attire. I recently had a hip replacement. I'm heading to physical therapy as soon as I leave here.
I just figured you ran
PT,
here.
of course.
All those years of running catch up?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, I'm representing the Kennedy family here and Mr. Rich Kennedy, as you noted, Nicole, president of the Angel Fund. Recently, we donated $1 million through the UMass Medical Center. This is the 23rd annual Squirrel Run, second Saturday in June. The mayor and the chief had enthusiastically supported us for many, many years. Chief, I commend your officers for amazing assistance they give us.
They'll be there this year, too.
If I digress just for a moment, Dr. Robert Brown out at UMass Medical Center doing an incredible job. We've raised about $40,000 to $50,000 each year at this event. It's part of the Quincy landscape nowadays, and along with the Harpoon Run and the Timlin Run, it's allowed us to donate this huge amount of money toward ALS research. Unfortunately, there's some sad news too. As you know, the great Mr. Chris Kennedy, now Rich Kennedy, one son, he has lost a son previously, Jimmy, and now the third son, Jay Kennedy, has ALS too. If you read yesterday's Globe, I would ask you to call him like Kevin Cullen. Jake, age 65, is the third son to be afflicted with ALS. Now he has what's called bulbar ALS, very fast-moving and very sad situation. 4 meals in one family, Chief.
That's incredible.
It's incredible. So again, we'd ask for your support for this event, and I thank you for your support all these years. It's been an incredible day.
Of course. Thank you. I think it goes without saying that what you're doing is God's work here. So if anyone in the audience has any questions or concerns, seeing none, board members?
Do you plan on having any food, a food truck or any kind of food?
Yes, and I get the proper permits so that Mr. Doc Doherty down at the office
And obviously, there's
will
no
assist me with
charge, but
that.
we
Yes,
just
we'll
need to
take
do
care of
the
that.
normal
We get
procedure.
a food and the permit for the grills. I'll take care of that, and obviously
fire.
involve the fire department folks.
Let us know, too.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Of course.
Very good, thank you.
Anything else? Seeing none, looking for a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to grant the request of the Squirrel Run Committee for a special use permit for the 23rd annual Jimmy Kennedy Run for ALS, the Squirrel Run. The event is scheduled for Saturday, June 13th, 2020. All proceeds of the event will benefit the Angel Fund in support of ALS research, represented by Lou Tozzi.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
You're all
Good luck.
set.
Thank you very much, folks.
Another good
Happy New
year.
Thank you.
Yep. Sorry.
That's a great race.
Agenda item number 2, hearing regarding the request of Deju Quincy LLC, doing business as Deju Rice Noodle, for a common victular license for the premise located at 663 Hancock Street, proposed manager Ben Lee, proposed hour of operation 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., Russell Chin and Ben Lee. Lynn, excuse me. How are you?
Fine, how are you today?
Very good, thank you. I see that everything is in order with your application. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about your proposed?
Certainly. Mr. Lin is proposing to establish a restaurant at the corner of Beale Street and Hancock Streets. He would be running a franchise operation. There are approximately 500 franchise locations in China. His would be the 4th in the United States, the 1st in Massachusetts for this type of food. This is sort of a famous type of noodle that has been made into a franchise. It's made from rice, and he believes it'll be a very successful operation. So, happy to answer any questions that you might have about that.
Is it going to be takeout or sit-in, or
It'll be primarily sit-in, but there'll be takeout available. Is that correct?
how many seats are you looking for?
Seating? 56 approximately, occupancy.
And it's right on the corner, that building,
Yes.
of Hancock and,
Hancock
Beale?
and Beale Streets. Yes. Used to be a dress shop over there. It's been
and how many,
vacant for quite a-
56 seats?
The pharmacy at one time.
Yeah, it's a 56 occupancy that we're looking for. So, fewer seats than that.
Here's the sketch.
Yeah. I'm concerned about the parking.
Oh,
Are there any contingencies for parking?
Well, there is parking in the back of that building where the China...
That parking's long gone. There's about 6 businesses in there now that take that parking, so there isn't space in there.
Yeah.
Are there any other thoughts on where you're going to put your customers?
Well,
Because I know that the person that wanted to go in there prior was a little bit bigger restaurant, but there was no parking plan.
Right.
There was no place to put a car down there, and that was a concern before.
yes. Yeah, we're familiar with that situation. And we've talked together about that. We feel that in that area, there really hasn't been, although there are a number of restaurants, smaller restaurants, from what we understand, there hasn't been a major issue per se with people finding a place to park at night to eat. I think during the daytime, it would be mostly pedestrian traffic coming over there for lunches. So we don't envision there being a problem with parking.
Chief, if I may clarify some of the things. I've looked at the plans for this. This is coming in for a building permit. Zoning-wise, it is something that I was going to approve. I spoke with the law department. As you know, this is a part of a bigger case that has been through many appeals. They were trying to go in there, and one of the primary problems was that they were asking for alcohol. When they first came to the license board, they said...
That was
there'd be no
another owner,
alcohol.
correct?
Right.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Another owner?
It's a different owner, yeah,
Right.
different owner prior. So I think it's been at least 2 years in litigation. Those appeals have all been settled. And after speaking with the law department, I've come to the conclusion that I'm going to issue a permit for this without any alcohol for 56 seats, just to let the board know on the building side of it. But obviously, I don't want to speak for this board. I just wanted to let you know what was going on in my...
Okay. So you're good with that then?
Yes,
With the parking issues and stuff?
yes.
Okay.
do we have any questions or concerns from anybody?
Can I make one comment,
You can.
since we're talking about parking? John Rockville, 8 Jackson Street, and Taunton. I think you should issue this permit. I mean, I think things have changed with retrospect to parking from the new project that's coming up right on Beale Street. They're proposing to do like 70 units with like 70 parking places and have a lot of other commercial stuff that doesn't have parking. So my new thing that I'm trying to do in Quincy is, let's be fair to everybody. And seems like parking doesn't matter anymore. So if someone wants to open up a business and there's no parking for that restaurant, I think it's going to hurt the restaurant. It's up to the operator. I mean, it definitely, I know if I had a place, it helps to have a parking lot. I don't go to the Starbucks over there because there's no place to park. I like Starbucks, but I think that, you know, we really have to relook, Jay, you would know, our parking stuff really has to be looked at. Because 20 years ago, Chief, I'll agree with you there, like, this never would have happened. You know, it was like we were denying people left and right. You can't do this because of parking, you can't do this because of parking. So the bottom line is that you can build very dense stuff in Quincy now, and parking isn't what it used to be. People are Ubering, and 20 years from now, no one's gonna be driving a car. So therefore, let these operators come in. Most restaurants, they don't even make it past a year. So let someone try to make some money, earn some money in the city, and look like you'll be a good operator. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, John, for that ringing endorsement.
Any other questions and concerns by anybody on the board?
Just that, before you open, the fire department would like to have a walkthrough. It just-
Oh, absolutely.
That's an
Yeah.
occupancy, that type of
Talked to
thing.
Mr.
so-
Lynn, he said he's going to be submitting his plans within the
Okay.
week. So, absolutely, there'll be an opportunity
Okay,
for...
look at emergency
inspections
lighting,
and
fire
review.
extinguishers and
Yes.
things like that, so.
Have you got any experience in the restaurant business?
16 years of operating.
16 years of operating.
Where?
New City, and right now New Hampshire, and now I'm going to move
Cindy?
Basically, just that, like the fire department, our food inspectors will have to come through
Yes.
for a final walkthrough, check temperatures and so forth.
Yes.
And again, personnel that are on staff need to have their serve safe, allergen training, and with 56 seats, you'll need choke saver as well.
Right. I think we've submitted most of those certifications, but we'll have to supplement whatever is required.
Excellent, thank you.
What, any plans on the outside of the building, going to clean it up a little bit? You got some signage you're proposing. We'll all see that in the plans, I guess, on the final plans.
Do you plan to change anything on the outside?
outside. We're going to have a new windows and new board and new signs over there, and so.
Okay, great.
It looks a lot better than before.
Okay, thank you.
Just
It'd be
planning
nice to see it
improve
cleaned up, that
Yes,
corner.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Planning to improve it.
Looking for a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to grant the request of Dagu Quincy LLC DBA Dagu Rice Noodle for a common victual license for the premises located at 663 Hancock Street. Proposed manager Ben Lin. Proposed hours of operation 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Is that 7 days a week?
7 days, yes.
7 days a week. Represented by attorney Russell Chen and Ben Lin.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All set, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Yeah. So that concludes our agenda items this evening. Looking for a motion to waive the reading and approve minutes from the previous hearing.
Motion made.
Second?
All in favor? And our next meeting is on February 11th, 2020, and looking for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.